Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here from SimpleProgrammer.com. Just finished my workout, and I was thinking about a concept when I was doing my run today. Finally, some thoughts started coming to me. I've been at a little bit of a dry spell. It's been weird. I guess I've been listening to more audiobooks, and maybe that really is what spurs some of these thoughts and ideas. You got to have a good inflow in order to have a good outflow. I've actually been thinking about maybe taking a bit of a hiatus at some point just to make sure I get enough inflow, but don't worry, I'm not gonna do that anytime soon yet. I've still got plenty of things to share. But I was thinking about this concept that I've talked about in a few different forms, but I think there's a principle behind this that lends itself to a few different expressions. Right? And what you'll find is that there's a good Ralph Waldo Emerson quote. I can't remember the exact quote, but he says basically that, men that utilize principles can find all the methods they want, but ones that utilize methods are sure bound for trouble, or something like that, essentially, which is my emphasis, which is on principles, right? That's why I emphasize on principles, because if you have principles, you can develop methods from that. And so there's always a lot of methods that come from a base principle. So this principle, and this expression of it that I want to talk about today, is this idea of optimizing for success, or optimizing for winning. So I was trying to think of a good analogy, a couple of ways. I think I've got a couple. So one of them would be, if let's say that I was going to enter some kind of competition, and poker's a good example, because in poker they have this kind of division of the prize pool, right? So suppose that you ask me, how do I want to divide the winnings, right? So let's say there's going to be like 100 entrants into this competition, and you're going to have a prize pool that's going to be divided among the winners. If you ask me how I want it divided, I'm going to lean very heavily towards having it go 100% to first place and nothing to second and nothing to third and so on, or perhaps something like 90% to first, 10% to second. I'm not going to lean for optimizing it to say that maybe 50% of it would go to the the first 50 places, or to evenly divide it, or anything like that, right? Because I'm going to optimize for winning, because I want to win, right? And so I think another good way, and I'll get into how this applies to your life, but another good way to look at it, good analogy here, is to think of like a ladder. Like if you think about rungs on a ladder, okay? And I've talked about this about economic policy, but it's the same principle again here, but you can apply this to your life. So let's say that the rungs on a ladder represent like your success, or let's say financial success in life, and the higher that you're up on the ladder, the exponential benefit that it is, right? So the low rungs on the ladder don't get you much benefit. Going up one rung isn't much of an improvement from the previous rung, okay? And they're fairly easy to traverse. But as you get higher, the rungs generally get further apart, and they're exponentially more valuable. What does that mean? It means that it's going from rung 1 to 2, maybe gives you a 10% benefit, but going from rung 15 to 16 gives you a 200% benefit. Okay, so if that's the case, and you're deciding you've got a bunch of extra rungs that you can put into the ladder, where do you put the rungs, right? Think about this question. Like, you might even pause the video and think about, where would you optimally put the rungs? Because this is a really big, important decision that you actually do have to make in your life. Now, a lot of people, where I think they make the mistake, and this is where, you can check out my playlist on the victim mindset, victim mentality. A lot of people that have that mentality, and why I'm so against it, what they end up doing is that they try to move as many rungs as possible to the bottom in order to make their traversal to the middle as easy as possible, right? So they would do that in their own lives, and they would favor government policies or welfare, things like that, or equalization or taxation, things like that, economic policies that would put essentially more rungs at the bottom. And some of that comes from just this concept of, again, they're not playing to win. They're not optimizing for the future. They're like settling for less. They're figuring, well, I want to get the best that I can, and it's not going to be great. So I want it to be as easy as possible to get the best that I can, which is somewhere in the middle. It's mediocre, right? Whereas people like me, right, I'm optimizing for the best. I want to put as many rungs as possible near the top, right? I'll strategically put a few in the middle so that it'll help me, to get there. But I want to maximize that benefit, because I'm counting on winning. I'm counting on being successful, right? When I was younger, I counted on being rich someday. I didn't bet. I didn't place my bets. See, where you're going to place your bets in life, right? Because you can place your bets on that you're going to be mediocre and middle of the road your whole life. And if you're placing your bets there, then you know, you're going to be putting your money, you're going to put your opportunities towards the lower rungs on the ladder if you're placing your bets there. But if you're placing your bets on winning, if you're placing your bets on being successful, right? Just like I said in that example of dividing up the prize pool of winning the race, you want to place as many of your bets, as many of your rungs, as many of your chips on that outcome, right? You want to bet on yourself. It's almost like, again, I could give you another analogy and say, like, you know, if you were to bet odds on get you winning or succeeding on something, like where you, like, let's say you're running a race, right? And you're training for this race and you actually have a shot at winning this, right? Where do you put your money if you're going to bet on your own race? Do you put it on that you're going to lose and sort of hedge your bet and say, well, if I lose, which I probably will, at least I'll get some money, I'll get some pay? Or do you like put it on the fact that you're going to win and dominate and you're going to get better odds on your money because you know that you've got a secret power, that you've got more determination or, you know, grit than anyone else, and so you're going to succeed even though you're being offered, you know, really good odds. You see what I'm saying? So life is like that. Like if you choose to aim low, if you choose to bet on not winning, right? If you're not optimizing for victory and you're not optimizing for success, then you're sort of also influencing your failure, right? You're also increasing the chance that you're going to be mediocre, right? So again, a lot of you that differ from me philosophically on the whole economic policies, victim mindset, and all this stuff, and you wonder, why do I think this way? Why, well, you know, why, John? Yeah, do you kind of favor the rich or the wealthy or the successful or the winners? It's because I aspire to be one. You see what I'm saying? And I count on the fact that I'm going to be successful. I'm going to become wealthy. I'm going to win a fucking fight if I get in a fight, right? I'm counting every time that there's a choice of betting on me or betting on me, against me, I'm betting on me. And so I'm optimizing all of my chips and all of my resources towards that. And that influences all of the policies that I think about economically, philosophically, governmentally, right? All of those political philosophies, they all come from this one idea that I'm betting on success. And it's not just I'm betting on success for me, I'm betting on success for you. I want you to be successful. I want you to benefit, right? Everyone benefits if we favor the successful people and we teach other people and help them become successful, because it's not a zero-sum game. It's not like the race where the winner gets all. I mean, some things in life are like that, but there's a million ways to win, and you just got to pick one of them, right? So, but you got to bet on the fact that you are going to win. So I think that's about it. That's the idea. It's the same, again, principle. If you're wondering what principle it connects to, maybe we can find the video. I don't remember what the video was called, but I talked about optimizing. I think I've done this on a live stream before too, where I talked about optimizing for the long term, right? So what that means is, like, you know, and again, one more principle or one more piece of this that sort of relates to this, which is this whole idea that, look, okay, if you're optimizing for success, you can't just put all the bets on you winning, right? You got to get some help to get you there. So again, with that whole ladder analogy is probably the best one in life, is that, you know, you can't just like take all your money and save it up for, you know, this big bet that when you succeed, or only spend all your time and effort and resources toward, you know, optimizing for the future, right? That's not a good play either. You got to strategically use some of it to get by today to make it more likely that you're going to hit success. So it's a balancing act, right? You got to kind of balance. You got to say, how much of my resources currently can I divert towards my current endeavors that will make it more likely that I'll hit those higher rungs in the ladder and hit success in the future? You know, what's the least amount that I can still make it to that higher rung and save the rest of that time and effort and energy and resources for those higher rungs, so that when I get there, that ride will be easier and it'll be more profitable, right? It's a strategy game. Life is a fucking strategy game. I did this video on life as a game. Check that out, but it's really an RTS. So there you go. All right, if you like this video, make sure you click the subscribe button below, click the bell to make sure you don't miss any videos, and let me know how I'm doing on these. I'm gonna do more of them outside, walking around, and like I said, I did that video on committing, right? Trying to make sure that if I do a video for you outside here, I'm gonna commit, gonna give you 100%. All right, that's all I got for you. Talk to you next time. Take care.